Hello, Ashley.
Hello,
Nicole.
Taryne Renee.
I have a fact for you.
You have a fact, or is it fiction?
It's from Cosmopolitan, so
Factual.
Did you know what Eminem stands for? Like for M&M's candy?
No.
Have you ever wondered that? Because
No.
I haven't. But then the second I saw that, I was like, duh.
What does
who
it
are
stand
they?
for?
Yeah.
Huh.
Let me tell you. They are named after the businessmen who created them, which is Forrest Mars and Bruce Murray.
Mars?
Eminem.
Mars is a great last name.
Mars is great. Yeah.
I just
Eminem.
like Veronica Mars. Eminem.
Isn't that crazy?
Eminem. No one knew. Now we know. We are sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh delivers pre-portioned ingredients to your door, including farm fresh produce that arrives within a week. So you get convenience without skimping out on quality. Skip the trip to the grocery store, saving you the wait in long lines and ensuring you don't waste money on excess food. HelloFresh has fit and wholesome recipes for satisfying and nutritious meals that you can feel good about, with 6 recipes per week to choose from, including low-calorie and carb-conscious options. I love HelloFresh because they offer flexibility. You're not stuck in any plan. If you need to customize something, you can easily customize your order online or in the app, easily change your delivery day, food preferences, and plan size, or simply skip a week whenever you need to. And HelloFresh offers 50 menu and market items to choose from every week, including veggie, fit and wholesome, family-friendly, and gourmet options, providing plenty of variety so you'll never get bored. Go to HelloFresh.com/advice16 and use code advice16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/advice16 and use code advice16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Today's episode is sponsored by Ouai. Exciting news, guys. One of my favorite hair care brands, Ouai, now has body products as luxurious as their famed detox shampoo. So if you're like me and your skin has been feeling a little dehydrated lately, Ouai has you covered with their new body cream and body cleanser. The hydrating skin softening duo comes in the iconic Ouai fragrance, Melrose Place, with notes of bergamot, lychee, cedarwood, and white musk. Since it's getting a little warmer outside now, it is time to start showing some skin, and my legs were needing a little bit of help. I am so excited to be using Ouai's new body cream and cleanser. I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed with the Melrose Place scent. It is a little musky, not too feminine, with like hints of floral, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It smells like summer. So quench your thirsty skin and leave it feeling satin smooth with Ouai Melrose Place body cream. Experience the new Ouai Melrose Place body cream and body cleanser. Your body, your way. Go to THEOUAI.com and use code ADVICE to get 15% off your entire purchase. That's 15% off your entire order at THEOUAI.com, code ADVICE.
Let's create something and hide our names in it. What should we create?
Do we go first name, A and T? Do we go last name?
That's like AT&T.
E and M.
Yeah. Well, Ashley, hopefully one day we'll get married.
Let's not bet on it though. Let's stick with our
we're manifesting
our roots.
No.
But what if,
okay,
let's, statistically, not all marriages last. I don't want to take on
this. Okay. We were talking about beautiful, happy candy. Now we're talking about dying alone.
I would go with my own
name. Roll right past this and I say, let's start the episode.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Unsolicited Advice. I'm Ashley.
I'm Taryne.
And this is the podcast where you guys send in situations and we advise you on those situations unprofessionally. But sometimes we're pretty spot on.
You know, it's been a
while.
We're pretty
wise
since I've mentioned this. What am I going to say? I have a minor.
Oh my God.
In counseling.
Don't you mention it every episode?
No, I don't, Ashley.
I feel like you do.
I don't.
They know.
And
the people know.
They need to know this because then it gives us some like street cred.
Oh my God. Well, Taryne, guys, just so you know, Taryne has a minor.
Yeah.
She has a minor in psychology.
Yeah.
So this is professional advice. Boom, wham, bam, from her. Mine's
what's funny?
Mine's just, take it or leave it.
Yeah,
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah. It's funny because like I really do see myself going back to get like my master's and to like eventually I think I always say when I'm an adult, but like I know that I technically am, but like
girl, you've been an adult.
Have I?
We're adults. We're not even like
young adults.
We're not even like young 30s. We're like in our 30s.
Yeah.
We're women.
We're women.
We're grown adults.
But like I wonder when, like what age I'm finally going to be like, children. You know what I mean?
I feel like that hit me around the age of 27.
Yeah, but you are an old
I remember
soul.
specifically 27 and going out with some girlfriends and everyone was dancing. And I remember sitting on the sideline and being like, kids.
But you are like, you're Nick Miller. Like you're an old crotchety woman in the body of someone who looks like they'd be.
I just yell at kids when they throw their balls over my fence and I'm just like, scram.
No, Ash gets annoyed by stuff so easily. And it's so funny because like you never know it on the outside. So you're like, oh, she thinks I'm so cool. She doesn't.
I'm so calm and composed.
She's judging
outwardly.
You so harshly.
But I have a lot of opinions on the inside.
Lots of opinions.
And only the people in my closest circle get to hear them.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're the only ones who fall victim to knowing how much we annoy her.
Because once you know my cynical side, then it's like, oh, dang.
You can't unsee it.
You can't unsee it.
It makes you question every interaction you have.
Mm-hmm.
I have something I want to say to catch the people up on. So last night, which we're like a couple episodes ahead, right? So this is like a couple weeks ago for you guys listening now. We went to a recording. Podcast live for Pretty Basic, which is Alicia, Ashley's sister, my friend, ex-roomie, sniff, sniff, and Remy, our good friend. It's their podcast. And so we went to just like support. And I was so incredibly like honored, overwhelmed, blessed by how many people came up to like talk to us after and like take a picture. Like at first, like one girl came up to me and we had this like beautiful heart-to-heart conversation. And then the next thing I know, I look up and there's a straight up line formed of people wanting to talk to me. And I look over and Ash has like a straight up line of people talking to her. And it was just like the most like humbling thing, but also like, I don't know, like I feel like it really affected me and you in like multiple ways. But I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much to everyone who said something to us. And I think it was good for us to see faces of people and to hear you guys say like how much this podcast means to you. Because, Ash, we need to step it up.
I agree.
We're very aware. Like, not that we take advantage of this because I think the podcast is one of your favorite things and my favorite things, like in our worlds. But I think like we could be doing so much more and like putting so much more effort in. And so we both walked away being like so proud of this podcast and so like just in love with like the UA fam. And I sat in silence in my car the whole way home, which is so weird for me. And I just kept like crying because I was just like so overwhelmed by like all the beautiful people I met. And so we just like wanted to say we love you guys so much, and it meant so much that you took the time to like come introduce yourselves to us. And yeah, I'm super emo about it.
It made us so happy. Yeah, I completely agree with Taryne. I think this podcast as you guys know, I do a lot of different social media things. I have different platforms on everything, and they all require so much work. One of the most beautiful things about this podcast is I feel like I don't have to work. I can come, and it's the most like seamless, natural.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Thing for me, and I think something that I'm going to go ahead and say probably like I subconsciously was like protecting was like, I don't want this to ever become overwhelming and I don't want this to ever become
like work. And like you're like, oh, I have to go.
Coming every Monday is a breeze for me. And it's one of the things that I don't have to think about that hard. Like it's so easy. It's with Taryne, who I could sit and talk with like forever.
Same.
And like we just talk about like real life stuff and it's so easy. But I agree with Taryne. We do need to step it up. It's been time. And I also agree with Taryne. I said verbatim to Alicia, I was like, I think it was so good for me to see people. I met this girl named Cole yesterday and I told her this verbatim. I was like, I think it was so good for me to see people again post-pandemic, because I think it's really easy for me to forget that each view is a person. And I think I get really wrapped up in analytics and numbers, and I'll get mad at myself if a video only reaches like 70,000 views or something like that. But I need to switch it and be like, that's 70,000 people, you know?
Yes.
Like, and I need to stop thinking about it in a negative way and remember the faces that I met last night, and when I see those numbers, like, remember those faces. Yeah. And so I think it was a very pivotal moment for me.
Well, I feel like too, like, I feel like sometimes like you and I'm like a trickle down from this, but underestimate the fact that like in our circle are very successful people. Mm-hmm. So I think to everyone else, they're like 70K, holy balls, you know? I don't know why I said that.
Sure.
But like, everyone else is like, what the heck? That's so much. But you like live with and are related to someone who gets like millions like on the daily.
Yeah.
But I think it's like we have to strip that aside and be like, no, like we have such a booming podcast because we've created this beautiful relationship with the people who listen to us.
Yeah.
And I think like it's learning how to like jump into that and realize like our podcast in its nature is about people, and it's about how much we love people, and it's about us as humans having a desire to want to like put positive content into the world and like make people laugh and make people grow. That's like what we want to do. And so we just like I feel like this is like a good chapter for us of being like, I felt like I refell in love with like.
I agree.
I was so excited to come today.
I agree. Yeah, I was like, I woke up. I mean, I went to bed really late because we were out really late. But like by the time I woke up and I was drinking my coffee, I was like, it's Monday. We're gonna go record. And I was like getting in the zone, and I was feeling really good about it. And I fully attribute it to meeting so many of you guys last night. And anyways,
but did it make you want to do a live recording?
Yes.
Me?
Yes. So maybe that's something we can start working on. If you guys would genuinely be honest with us, if you would come to a live recording of this podcast, please let us know, because maybe we'll start working on that. But if you won't come, also please let us know, because we don't want to plan this and have another Comic-Con 2019 happen again. Was that 2019?
I will never
I think it was 2019.
Be mad at that, because I think that was the most humbling experience of my entire life.
If I thought I was hot shit, that brought me down so fast. It was like, honey.
Not only were there 4 people, but we went up to the 4 people that were in the room.
Yeah.
And
we were like, I was talking directly to them.
But 2 of the women that were in there, I went up and I was like, oh my God, like, thanks for coming. And like, I'm so glad you liked the pod. And they were like, oh, like, we just came to see like what was in this room. And I was like, so you're not.
So you don't subscribe. Sounds like,
and then there's like someone from the management team. So there really was like 2 people there for us. But you know what? I would not change it for the world.
Me neither, because you know what? It's all up from there.
But also,
you can't get down.
I feel like a lot of people would have gone into that and been very uncomfortable and shaken by that, and then would have been like kind of like stumbling.
We stepped up.
Thrived. So imagine if we had a whole room of people to like feed off of.
Yeah. Assuming that they laugh at our jokes.
And assuming that we have a full room.
There's a lot of assuming.
A lot of ifs
happening.
I have a big family. I know a lot of people. I'll just fill it with everyone I know. No one will know the difference.
All of Taryne's family members take up half of the room, and then my 3 family members come for support.
I'm dead. So good.
Well, you know, I'm going to go ahead and start us off with a Tearing It Up.
Love it.
As you guys know, Tearing It Ups are the part of the podcast where you guys send in funny stories. Ooh, the carbonation got me.
Are you okay? Take
fine.
a second. Do you want me to?
No,
do you need
fine.
me to go?
No, we're fine. We're gonna keep going.
Okay.
It was just a lot at once. A lot at once.
Wait, have you seen that TikTok of that guy that drinks the whole can of like bubble water without? He was like, I'm not going to burp or something. And then he like runs into the garage door.
Runs. He burps so hard. Runs into the garage
should we start sharing our favorite TikToks just on UA stories? Because I feel like we should.
I do it on my Instagram all the time, but I never thought to put it on UA.
We should, because I feel like people who think we're funny appreciate our humor.
You get our humor. Yeah. That's a really important thing.
Yeah.
in a lot of relationships.
You know, learn that the hard way.
If you can't laugh at me, we shouldn't be together.
Yeah, my ex
friend, boyfriend.
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
He like wouldn't laugh at me.
You're one of the funniest people I know.
Honestly, thank you so much. I'm realizing how much, like, I remember when Mark sent us our first like description of our thing and it said comedians Ashley and Taryne. I've never felt like I achieved a milestone in my life so much. Like, so much. And I feel like I'm realizing now how much I value like being able to make people laugh.
Yeah.
But I remember like we would be somewhere and I would tell a story and he would just sit there like listening to me, but all his friends would be like dying.
Yeah.
And that really affected me. Like we would leave and I'd be like, you don't think I'm funny. Like you don't laugh at me, but like all your friends think I'm hilarious.
Everyone else is laughing.
Yeah, it was so weird. Like I was just like genuinely confused by that.
Well,
which
I'm
is why
genuinely
I never
confused by him. Yeah.
Because if you think I'm funny on the outside, wait till you get me alone. My home life, Ash knows. So it's not going to work. It's not going to
work out.
I need laughter to live. Tinkerbell.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Same. Okay, getting back to the tearing it up. Again, this is when you guys send in funny stories. Please send them.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this moment to tell you, stop what you're doing right now. If you have a funny, embarrassing story, take this time to DM us or email us said funny story because the world needs more laughter these days.
And can I say, like, I could see this feeling daunting writing something in because
it's not.
Especially like some of the stuff we read is like, I swear, like professional writers, whatever the technical term for that is. But it can be like type it as if you're talking to a friend, like, oh my God, this guy said this and I said this and it was so embarrassing. Like even that is fine. So don't feel overwhelmed. Just like send in your stories.
Don't think about like our October series. Those stories are always so well written.
So different.
It doesn't have to be like that.
So different.
Also, side note, I was talking to my boyfriend last night and we were talking about doing...
Ash, we get it.
Oh my God.
You gotta flex the B word at me.
We were talking about doing a UA podcast live and he suggested for the October series.
Oh, snap, crackle, pop.
And I looked at him and I was like, that's brilliant.
Let's do it.
Because it's one, our best series that we have on the pod. Everyone knows we love October series.
Yes.
It's mine and Darren's favorite.
Yes.
And then how fun would it be if we just dress up all the costumes we do?
Snap.
Like what if we did it for live recordings?
Like a mini tour? Like we literally do like...
four.
Shoot. Should we do?
Just for the month of October.
What if a murderer shows up? Oh, shoot. Because that would be perfect. I'm putting ideas in their heads. Oh my God, should we take this off?
If you are a murderer and you're hearing this, do not
kill me another day. Another day. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Anyways, I just wanted to share that and put that out there because
it's brilliant.
That would be so fun if that happened. Okay. Moving on. We're full circle. Let's get back up. Let's wrap it up. Let's get to this. Tearing it up story. She writes, "Hi, Taryne and Ash. Love you both so much. Thank you for being authentic, hilarious.
Yep.
And great advice givers. You two
Suck on that, ex-boyfriend. I'm hilarious." I wonder if he listens to it. No, he doesn't.
Should I send it to him? Should I just casually send it to him?
No, please don't. Please don't.
I'm going to do it.
I have to be cool and calm and collected. I've moved on with no one.
I'm going to do it. You two are inspiring so many people in this world and leaving such a positive mark on humanity. And we all need that right now. Keep on being you, she puts in all caps.
I will.
We are better off because of you, and we truly appreciate you both.
Wow.
Thought you would enjoy the embarrassing moment I had on the day I went to the beach. So here we go. I shall remain anonymous for obvious reasons once you read this. I like how she wrote that.
Yeah.
I got new rollerblades for my birthday and needed to try them out. The wheels had not been worn in yet, so they were very slick and very slippery. I knew they would get easier to use, so I decided to take my maiden voyage on my new skates at the beach one morning. I was doing great for a while, but eventually got a little cocky and fell right on my butt. A guy came up and asked if he could help me up. I said yes. So, picture this, ... I'm on the ground. My legs are slightly bent with my knees facing up to the sky so that my rollerblades are in the ready position on the ground. You know what what we're talking about?
Yeah, I'm there.
So that as soon as he pops me up, I can start skating right away. Seems easy enough. So he grabs my wrist and all he has to do is pull me upward. Right?
Okay.
Like not,
Yeah,
upward.
because she's on wheels.
Because she's on wheels. Yeah. But instead, probably due to the fact that my body weight plus the weight of the skates was a bit more than he expected,
oh God,
he pulls, and instead of pulling me upward, he pulls me towards him.
Okay.
Because my skates are so slippery, as he's pulling, I just keep scooting along the boardwalk on my butt toward him, while my skates are causing my legs to open up farther and farther and farther. And within a few nanoseconds, my vajayjay slams straight into his leg.
Oh my God.
He says, she puts in quotes, "Oh."
oh golly.
He says, "Oh." The "oh" got me when I read it. That's all he said. She says, "Fortunately, 2 other guys saw the whole thing and come over and help me up from behind."
So 3.
And lift me by my armpits. So if we're doing math here, 3 men had to help her off the floor.
Me. Remember how I couldn't even get up off the floor yesterday?
Like, imagine
in regular shoes.
But it's already embarrassing that you fell in a public space.
Yeah.
And on skates it's usually a flailing fall, you know. It's not like a smooth fall.
Yeah.
But the fact that she had to get 3 men to help her get up is just so funny. So funny to me. She says, "The 2 other guys come from behind and lift me up by my armpits, and I quickly skate away." As I contemplate what the heck just happened, then I hear the 2 guys who came to my rescue at the end say, "Be safe."
You got this, sweetie.
You're doing great, sweetie. I still laugh at it when I think about it. It all happened so quickly. I'm sure the first guy was just as embarrassed as I was, but I made sure not to make eye contact so we would never recognize each other, which is probably a good,
I mean,
that's a
I
good
get
call.
it.
I get that. I've done that for sure.
But again, what if that was your meet cute?
What if that was your meet cute?
Guys,
always
we gotta lean
eye
into
contact.
the embarrassing
It's okay.
situation.
It's fine. We've all been there. It's fine. She writes, "Feel free to share this or just enjoy it for yourselves. Love you both," from Anonymous.
I love that. That's rough.
I think it goes without saying. I feel like you guys know me well enough. I'm not athletic. I'm not very savvy when it comes to like things like rollerblading. I'm more of a I'm active.
Yeah.
I'm an active person, but when it comes to like coordination with stuff like
yeah.
I don't have it.
I think you're athletic, but I would say
very
the
specific
coordination.
things.
Yeah.
The coordination that comes with skating is very similar, I would say, to the coordination that comes with dancing. And I don't have it. It's just not in my bones.
But is it not in your bones or is it not in your
It's not in my
comfort
head.
level?
It's not in my comfort level. And therefore, I think I like to say it's not in my bones.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if you like really just ever like let loose.
But what's fun is like I like going roller skating to like a roller skating rink. But I don't it's different. It's different. I don't shoot my shot really.
I know you.
I just like to just go in circles.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
feel
safe
that.
place.
Yeah. I just go in circles in life. Cool. Well, thank you for that. Tearing it up, Anonymous. I don't see why you had to remain anonymous.
I don't think you needed to remain anonymous either because you didn't make eye contact with him.
Those guys are not listening to her podcast.
He doesn't even know your name. So could have been anyone. Should I get us rollerblades for Christmas?
Sure.
Or for your birthday?
Sure.
It's coming sooner. We could do some rollerblading on the beach together.
Yeah.
And then send in our own tearing it up.
But we're at that age,
sure will
Ash, I feel like we need knee pads and elbow pads.
Yeah, I feel like something...
little butt cushion.
You enter your 30s and all of a sudden falling becomes a big deal.
No, it's so... I literally...
You don't bounce back as quick anymore.
I remember I used to fall and just like roll and get up. Now I'm like, I have to like the 2 hands on the knees. Like, I need help.
The last time I witnessed Taryne fall, she hurt her knee, and it's been in a weird thing ever since.
Dude, yeah. Like
that was the last time I saw you fall.
I straight up injured myself when I fell out of your car.
She
that
fell
was
out
the
of my
weirdest.
car. But it was very slow.
That was terrifying.
It was a very slow
No, it
fall,
felt like I fell for 5 minutes.
but it was like the slowest. Like it looked like you knelt down.
Yeah.
Like that, from my perspective, it was like she just knelt down and she hurt herself.
No, I still
And
every
that's what
once
it's
in
like
a while
to be 30.
will wake up that injury, and I'm like,
for those
that
of you
dang
that aren't
car.
30, you can look forward
You'll
to
get
that.
it.
So as you guys know, I love working out. I love being active. I love moving my body, but that has some significant side effects with how my body feels. I feel like I'm a little stress ball all the time. My body is constantly tense. And yes, I do this to myself, but I have to learn how to take better care of my body and help it relax. And that's where Theragun comes in. So whether you're like me and you kind of put your body through a lot, or you're just simply trying to get through the day tension-free, Theragun is here to help you do that. If you have never heard of Theragun, Theragun is the handheld percussive therapy device that releases your deepest muscle tension using scientifically calibrated combos of depth, speed, and power. And get this, it's just as quiet as your electric toothbrush. So whether you want to treat your muscle tension from working out or an injury or just the stresses of everyday life, there's no substitution for the Theragun Gen 4. The Theragun Gen 4 doesn't just feel good, it gets to the source of the pain by releasing tension using Theragun's signature percussive therapy, which goes 60% deeper than vibrations alone. I don't know about you guys, but our parents used to have like old massage guns that simply just kind of shook your body. This is not the same thing. I use my Theragun on my legs. I use it on my shoulders. I use it on my back, my butt, my calves, like everywhere and anywhere that possibly feels too tight. Simply run the Theragun over it and you will feel 10 times better. My Theragun has kind of become a little bit of my nighttime routine. I usually work out in the morning and then I don't have time really to stretch or take care of my muscle tension during the day. So it has become part of my nighttime routine. I'll take a shower, I'll brush my teeth, I'll do all those things, and then I'll pull out my Theragun and I'll massage my shoulders, my legs, anywhere that I feel tight. And I have been seriously going from like 90 to 100, feeling 100%, feeling completely relaxed and loose and ready for bed. And guys, I've been sleeping better. So I really cannot rave about this enough. So guys, try Theragun for 30 days, starting at $199. Go to therabody.com/advice right now and get your Gen 4 Theragun today. That's therabody.com/advice, ADVICE, therabody.com/advice.
Should I go into mine?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's about that time.
This one is very interesting it's like a situation and then a side situation. So both are very interesting. Okay. It is titled Accused and Very Confused.
Oh my God.
We love rhyming.
That's clever. That's clever.
Mm-hmm. I would like to say anonymous. Hello, lovely ladies. I'm sorry I couldn't choose a name to go first because I love you both. It's fine. It's fine.
No, pick a side.
Okay.
Pick
Moving
a side.
past. You guys are all getting to know. Ashley looks like this just soft little bunny on the outside. She's not.
I am a soft little bunny.
She's not.
Someone make an edit
Her
of a soft little bunny with
insides-
my face on it. For Easter.
Nobody makes edits of our faces on things anymore.
Well, I used to tell them to.
Oh.
I used to,
I
because
would
you
like
would always say
my
something funny,
face-
and then I would say make an edit of it.
Oh, okay. What were you talking about? Oh, I was
Your
reading.
story.
I absolutely adore your podcast and have been listening since the very first episode and have to say, wow, this is a sign. October series is my absolute favorite.
Same.
We need to give the people what they want.
You know what? Send us to your friends. Get us more listeners, and maybe we'll make a second podcast just for October series.
Don't play with me, Ash.
No.
Don't
I'm not
play
playing
with me, Ash.
I'm not playing. If they get us more listeners, then we can make this your full-time job.
Don't
and then we can have
play
2
with
podcasts.
me.
2.
Shoo. Shoo. Anyways. I'm going to move on. Okay.
It turns into Taryne's podcast, and it's just spooky stories.
Just me in my basement. I don't have a basement, but like,
We can get you a basement.
I don't want one. No, I'm good. Okay. As you can tell from the title, I'm extremely confused and would love some sisterly advice from my big sisters.
Aww.
My fiance and I have been together for 4 years and have always been extremely happy with one another. I love him dearly and can't wait to marry him, but recently some drama has come up. His best friend, who I'm not close with at all, came to him with some concerns and accused me of cheating on him because my best friend is a guy. That's a very interesting, because I would say I think that's a red flag to watch for when your friends don't like the guy you're dating. But I feel like there are scenarios where they're just like, they're the toxic one. Like, it's like an opposite. It's like, no, this isn't a red flag. Like, you suck. Yeah. So it's like hard to know, you know? He said guys and girls just can't be best friends, and that he knew this guy had feelings for me and I must have been cheating. He told my fiance he's way too trusting with me and he should look into it. I have never once hung out with this guy alone without asking for my fiance's permission beforehand, and I have told my fiance everything from day one. Him and my fiance are good friends as well, and we all hung out together quite a bit. I, of course, told him I have never cheated on him and was quite angry at the accusation and him questioning my motives, values, and relationships. I've always told my fiance if he ever became uncomfortable with me hanging out with someone or talking to another guy friend, I would stop immediately because he's my number one priority. I told him I don't care if he has friends that are girls as long as he's always open and honest with me and I trust him. I know all the girls he's friends with, and only one of those girls I don't trust, and I'm a huge communicator and have voiced that many times. He seems to know I don't trust her, but continues to talk to her, but I trust him and haven't actually asked him to stop talking to her. Now that we've gotten through the accusation section, now comes the confusing part. My fiance's reaction to this was, if you ever did cheat on me, I wouldn't want to know about it unless it was to leave me. If it was just a one-time accidental thing, there's no point in telling me. I just wouldn't want to know. I obviously was very confused because who the heck wouldn't want to know if their partner cheated on them? I asked him what he meant because I 100% would want to know if he ever cheated on me. I told him I would never be able to trust him if I found out he cheated on me and never told me. I feel like anyone would, right? This is what I need advice on. Why do you think my fiance wouldn't want to know? I've asked him and he's only given short, confusing answers that I don't agree with or feel the same way about, which I've openly told him. Is this something I should be concerned about? I truly believe he would never cheat on me, but I feel like this is a bit of a concern I should bring up. I feel as though he doesn't care enough about me to want to know, which I know is not the case, but I still tend to feel a tad bit like that because why else wouldn't you want to know? Should I actually ask him to stop talking to the girl I don't trust? Or is that hypocritical of me? I want him to know I trust him and will always choose him, but don't want to start an argument if I'm just overreacting. I tend to be very emotional and I'm a big overthinker, so I just need an outside perspective on this. If you took time to read this, I just want to say I really appreciate and love you girls, so keep up the amazing work. Love, Anonymous.
Wow. That's not That's not what I was expecting to talk about. That is very interesting.
That's what I'm saying. It's like so many levels. So many levels.
Yeah. Obviously I don't know your fiance. Mm-hmm. I'm very glad that you guys are talking about this now. Mm-hmm. Before you're married.
Yeah.
There's so much to like dissect here. I personally, knock on wood, let me just throw that out there. I've never been cheated on. I have been in close situations where I've been involved where there was a cheater, and I have seen friends get cheated on.
Yeah.
And, none of that is fun. But I have never met anyone who got cheated on that wish they didn't know. And I don't know that that's right or that's wrong. I don't know that there is a right or wrong. And I believe that your boyfriend, or I'm sorry, fiance, must feel that for a reason. And maybe he's experienced something in the past. But I personally have never come across someone who has said, I wish I didn't know. So it is a little like, odd. I would say odd is a good word. It's a little different. I don't want to say wrong because I don't see why that would be wrong. It's very uncommon. So I would love if he could elaborate on why, unless maybe he just hates the idea of the conflict and would rather just not deal with it, which I would say, coming from a 9 who hates conflict and doesn't want to deal with most of it, would be like the lazy way, easy way out is to just pretend it's not there.
Yeah. I think, okay, so like, multiple levels. First of all, I don't think it's a secret. Like we've talked about this on the podcast so many times. I definitely lean more on I feel like past a certain age and when you're entering the chapter of like wanting to get married and stuff, I think that does significantly affect your ability to have actually like healthy relationships with the opposite sex. However, I think that the way you described it of being like, oh, I was like very conscious of like, if we were hanging out one-on-one, I communicated, let him know like, hey, if you're uncomfortable, let me know. Like, I feel like it sounds like you handled it in a very respectful way. So I think that is annoying that guy said that, his friend, which like, that's interesting to me of like why he felt the need to like accuse you of stuff with like absolutely no proof. Like, that's very interesting.
Because the guy best friend, accused.
No, her fiance's friend
accused
her of cheating because she had a close guy friend.
Got it.
So that's just interesting in general. But I am an overprotective friend, so I could see that of being like, hey, like I feel the need to like stick up for my friend.
Also, I wonder how much of it was an accusation versus like, hey, it's weird that she has a guy best friend.
Yeah, because of like his own personal feelings or whatever. Yeah.
Which I would say that I differ with Taryne a little bit. I do think guys and girls can be best friends. I just think a very specific type of guy and girl can do that well. And I think it takes a very mature, very specific type of person. And I think that kind of best friendship doesn't look the same as like same gender best friendship.
Yeah, I just think like
there's a lot of things like Taryne and I can do that I could not do with a male best friend when I'm in a relationship with someone.
I just think like I don't think they can't be friends. I think best friend, like the person you're going to for like your support and to like share your deepest things. It's just like I think
it just looks different.
Opening up doors for stuff. And I also think like friendships just change. Like my guy best friend before I got in a relationship with, I would go over to his house and we would lay on his bed and watch movies and like do stuff. Now, when I had a relationship, like I was very aware that like
do stuff. She means hang out.
Sorry. Yeah, dear God.
Just wanted to clarify.
Stuff. Thank you, Ash.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ash. But I was very aware that stuff had to change. But also, like, I had to think about how I would want the opposite end. If I knew my boyfriend was going over to this girl's house all the time and, like, complaining to her about our relationship, like, I think I would be a little bit weirded out. So it's like I try to live my life of, like, treating others how I would want to be treated. So, like, that's where kind of, like, and, like, how many cheating stories do we hear that it's like, oh, it was a friend from work and it was very innocent and then one night. Like, it's always just a tiny thing that happens and then it spirals.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's more like I don't want to ever get in a situation, so I'm going to take the steps beforehand. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, like, to me, that's where that viewpoint comes from.
Yeah. Again, I feel like it can't look the same when you're in a relationship with someone, because I can go and cry about something that my boyfriend said to me on Taryne's shoulder, and like she can comfort me and we can talk about it. If I do that with my guy best friend,
he's picturing you naked.
That's gonna hurt but that's also gonna hurt my partner.
Yeah,
you know. So like, it doesn't look. It can't be the same way.
Yeah, it's so
If you had a guy best friend, then that would be something you have to like talk with him on the phone. Like, it's just there's lines and boundaries that have to be put in place, not because of your best friend, but out of respect for your partner.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So so I can see his friend being protective. I do think I can see why you're offended by that, especially if your intentions are pure and you've clearly done all the right steps. But I would look at it more as like, okay, like as a friend, if you were worried about one of your friends, like you would do the same thing, you know? Now, I don't like the fact that you've expressed multiple times that a girl makes you uncomfortable, and he, even though you've taken all these precautions to like make sure he's comfortable, it does not seem equal. And I think you need to go back to those conversations, because sometimes I don't think that we are as clear of communicators as we think we are.
Yeah.
There's been times where I think I've fully hinted to Ashley that she hurt my feelings and I've been sad for a month. When I actually talk to her, she's like, I had zero idea anything was wrong. And most of that is on me because I needed to communicate that better, right?
Yeah.
So
hinting
doesn't work for everyone.
When it's a serious thing, especially.
Yeah.
I get the point of hinting. You want to give them like a chance to kind of like catch on.
And you're like, I shouldn't have to always like
you don't
tell
want to make
you.
everything a big deal.
Like
but
you should know.
If it's something serious to you and it's affecting you, you need to not hint and you need to be very upfront because some of us need signs, like big written
very
on
literal,
the board sign that says, "Hi, you're hurting me." Like that's what some of us need. And I think I very much agree with Taryne. I think if it's especially since you guys have been dating for so long and you're going to get married, I think when it comes to stuff like this, and I'm not trying to be biased here, I think you handled your concerns with the girl very well. I think you talked about it to him. You made it very clear that you felt uncomfortable by her, that she felt like a threat to your relationship. Voicing all of those things to him and putting that in his head is good so that when something crosses the line or it's the final straw for you or she does something that is just you're done and over it, he's heard you complain about it enough to be like, okay, that's valid. And he can't just come around and accuse you of cheating and not have given you like some kind of...
He didn't accuse the friend.
Right. But he's bringing it to her without even like giving her a chance to... And this is her best friend.
Yeah.
Like it is a little different because this girl is like, who's this girl?
Yeah. That's
just nobody.
And that would be my conversation with him. I would be like, hey. And I am a very blunt communicator. I acknowledge that. Like I acknowledge like sometimes I'm like, Ash, just tell them this. And she's like, I could never. You know what I mean?
But that's why we get along so well. Like I need that.
But if this was me, I would sit down and I would say, hey, I need you to help me understand because on my side, what I'm seeing is that your fiance, a person who should mean a lot to you, I've communicated I'm not comfortable with this person, but you're still pursuing a friendship. And so I need you to make me understand what is so important about this friendship that my feelings are being what I feel pushed aside.
Yeah.
Like I need to understand. Like what kind of connection do you have? Like maybe that would help me.
Yeah.
But also within that, you're communicating to him like, hey, bro, like I've told you I'm not comfortable and you're not listening to my feelings.
Yeah.
So I would definitely approach that. Now we move on to him not wanting to know. I will say, I do think that's odd. I think that there's certain things like your past history. Like I tend to be the person that I'm like, I don't really care as much about your past. I care about like who you are now. And I just need to know, is there anybody in our immediate circle that you had a thing with? Because then I would feel stupid if that like came up and I was unaware.
Yeah.
But like knowing you've been cheated on or you're being cheated on and not wanting to know is interesting. I do think guys and girls are a little bit different. Like I had my ex, we had a conversation one time where he was like, I would be more upset if you stayed on the phone and talked to a guy all night versus if you just like made out with a stranger somewhere. Because he saw much more of like, a physical thing is like just in the moment, whatever. But like, there was that emotional connection. I've also heard guys say the opposite. So I could see something like that. Like he's just thinking different. And maybe I'm just like a little bit critical.
Yeah.
But my thought goes to, and I want to be careful I say this because I don't want to like push this on or like cause you to like doubt a lot of stuff. But part of me is like, okay, is he saying that because he wants to keep his own stuff hidden? And I know that's a very cynical way to think about it, but it does like make me kind of wonder. Like,
it's not out of nowhere though. That would be a very viable question.
On top of like him not caring about like how like pursuing friendships when you've like I think there is stuff like I don't think you're wrong for wanting to sit down with him and being like, hey, we're going to get married. Like, this is not like something I take lightly. And I do have some uncomfortable feelings, and I would love to just sit and like, let's just have a rap session. Like, get it all out on the table and go from there. But
I wouldn't be shocked at all if his parents had some kind of situation where dad cheated on mom.
Yeah.
Mom knew about it. It wrecked her, but she never did anything about it. I wouldn't be shocked if he had been cheated on in the past and he knew and it wrecked him and he didn't do anything about it. I feel like there's probably something in his past that has made him feel like he'd rather not know. And he'd prefer to be naively in love than to see the worst in the person.
Fully, but I get why she took that as
I would
like,
talk to him about
you don't
that.
care.
Yeah.
Like, so if I'm cheating on you, you don't care? Like, hello?
No, it's a huge red flag in my opinion, and I would want to talk to him about it. I would go into that conversation and I would kind of dig a little bit and see if he has something that has happened to him in his past, because that would make sense to me. If he doesn't, then what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
That's
and I think it's
weird.
okay then to be like, okay, I want you to explain to me like what you mean by that.
Yeah.
And then to counter it with being like, because I'm going to be really honest.
Yeah.
When I hear you say that,
That's
I think
kind of weird.
So are you not wanting to know about me because you don't want me to ask about you? Or like, are you not wanting to know because you just are that like, nah, I already got her. I know she'll come back. Like, what? Like,
Explain
my
it to
mind
me.
is going crazy.
Yeah.
I need you to explain in detail because right now, this coupled with this girl, coupled with like, I'm a little bit lost.
For
like,
me, the only thing that would make
lost.
sense is some kind of previous history with it. That I can draw a line to and I can say, that makes sense. We can work through that. If this is out of nowhere, it's fishy, and unfortunately, and I would just need him to very much explain where that's coming from.
Ugh, I hope I never get cheated on. Not me knocking on the table. I feel like I'll end up in jail. I'm going to be
I'll kill
really
him.
honest. I don't see that going well.
I don't see that going well either.
That, or if someone does something to my kids, I will end up in jail.
Or me.
Will end up in jail. Or you, duh. I don't think I'll end up in jail, but I'll probably get a restraining order.
Yeah. Kids? It's another
Kids,
level.
I will end up
That's another level.
in jail. Anyways, so, okay, all this to say, I think all I'm seeing when I read this is your gut is firing off tons of signals. And I don't think you should ignore that. But I think you should go into it in an open setting. Also, I don't know if like people stop doing this, but I'm such a fan of premarital counseling.
Oh, absolutely.
So I would definitely look into that too, because I think that like we need to like have these conversations and work through this stuff before we enter, because then I think that's why so many people tie like, oh, the first year of marriage is so hard because all these things are coming up.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think people are very naive to the idea of marriage and love. And maybe this is my 9 side that's very like detached from emotions in a lot of ways. It's very much a business deal in my head. And if you want the business to succeed, you have to work out all the kinks before going into business
launching.
with them. You need to meet with them. You need to discuss like who's going to be in charge of what, what's the pay cut? Like, let's look at that now. Like, you need to come to an agreement on all of these things before entering into a partnership with someone business wise, or marriage wise. And I think it's not dumb to think of it that way, because when you think about it logically, it's like, oh, it makes sense.
Yeah, fully. I agree.
That being said,
but Anonymous,
good luck with that.
You got this. I would just talk about it. Make sure you're like going over all these feelings and thoughts too with like people close in your life, so they can ask you important directed questions, like people who know him, who know you, and go from there. Yeah, you got this, girl.
You got this, baby girl. So we are officially emerging from the winter season into spring, which means it's time to show a little bit of skin. It's time for some tank tops, time for some shorts. And I don't know about you guys, but my skin is lacking in the like supple, soft area. The winter season always does this to me, but it is time to show my skin some TLC with Ouai. You guys have heard us talk about Ouai before on this podcast. We are obsessed with their hair care products. We are very obsessed with specifically their detox shampoo. But very exciting news, Ouai has recently come out with body products. That's right, people, body products. So if your skin has been feeling dehydrated lately, Ouai has you covered with their new body cream and body cleanser. It is the hydrating skin softening duo that comes in the iconic Ouai fragrance Melrose Place, which, as we know, has notes of bergamot, lychee, cedarwood, and white musk. I'm obsessed with this scent. I would love it in a candle. I would love it in a perfume, a body oil. I would wear this scent constantly. I would even have it in a room spray. It's my favorite. Ouai's Melrose Place body cream is fast absorbing to nourish your skin when you need it most. It has intense hydration that lasts and prevents dryness. It has high quality nourishing ingredients like squalene, coconut oil, and cupuaçu. And then, of course, their cleanser balances your skin without stripping it or leaving unwanted residue, which we love. Experience the new Ouai Melrose Place body cream and body cleanser. Your body, your way. Go to THEOUAI.com and use code ADVICE to get 15% off your entire purchase. That's 15% off your entire order at THEOUAI.com, code ADVICE. You guys already know I love cooking. I love eating healthy, and I love actually going to the grocery store, but that doesn't mean I always have time to do those things. I'm a busy girl, and 90% of the time that means I order out, and it breaks my heart that I have to do so. That's why, again, I am so excited that we are sponsored by HelloFresh. HelloFresh, if you guys do not know, delivers pre-portioned ingredients to your door, including farm fresh produce that arrives within a week, so you get convenience without skipping out on quality. And you can skip the trip to the grocery store, saving you the wait in long lines and ensuring you don't waste money on excess foods. And again, of course, it's delivered to your door. You don't even have to leave the house to get healthy food. You can customize your favorite dishes with their new Hello Custom offerings by swapping out one protein or side for another, upgrading for a more luxe experience, or even adding protein to a veggie meal. That means more choices, more variety, and more meals truly tailored to you. I am obsessed with HelloFresh. I've said that before. I love eating very healthy. A lot of the times that means I'm very interested in like the vegan options or the veggie options, but I need some kind of protein, whether it's fish, chicken, something like that. So what I personally love doing is taking some of those meals and customizing them. I'm obsessed with the Middle Eastern chickpea bowls. It has a spiced basmati rice and garlicky white sauce. It is so good and so healthy, but it's veggie, so I usually add a little bit of chicken just to get my protein in. And then again, guys, HelloFresh offers 50 menu market items to choose from every week, including veggie, fit and wholesome, family-friendly, and gourmet options, so you'll never get bored with the meals that they offer you. Go to HelloFresh.com/advice16 and use code ADVICE16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. Again, go to HelloFresh.com/advice16 and use code ADVICE16 for up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. All right, we are going to bust through my story super fast. This is a short one, so that's kind of perfect. This one is titled, How Do I Break Up with My Mother?
Oh, geez.
Let's dive on into it. Hey, Ashley and Taryne, I'd like to stay anonymous, but you can know my name.
Got it.
I'm in a bit of a bind and at a complete loss in regards to how to handle this situation that I'm in. I'm not one to ever ask for help or advice. Hi, I'm an only child, so that is definitely a strong toxic trait of mine. However, I'd like for you both to be as blunt as possible, although I'm sure this is something that may feel unimaginable to most people. Let me start off by setting the stage. As I briefly mentioned, I am an only child. I'm 27, a business owner of 2, engaged, and most importantly, I'm an Enneagram 6. For those of you that don't know.
I love that. That's most important.
For those of you that don't know, Taryne and I are obsessed with the personality quiz. It's called the Enneagram. You can learn so much about the people in your life. The 6 is the loyalist. They tend to be very negative when it comes to how they think, but they are amazing people when it comes to emergencies. They've thought about every worst case scenario, and they will die for you if you're in their circle. She writes, I do not have a relationship with my biological father. He's never been involved. However, my mother has been married 3 times throughout my childhood. one of which was my abuser for several years.
Oh, shoot.
I will spare the details, but I feel it's important to mention it as it is a key factor at play in regards to the relationship I have with my mom, which, spoiler, is not great. She has since gotten remarried to another man. It took many years and a lot of introspective work in order for me to release my resentment towards my mom, but I did, and I let it go. Or so I thought. Late last year, my mom confided in me in regards to a current affair that she's currently having. Inappropriate? Yeah, I completely agree. She informed me she was planning on leaving her current husband for this man. And truthfully, I'm disgusted with the repetitive behavior. I've since withdrawn myself from her and was honest with her about how her behavior has impacted me. However, I don't think I've ever been clear enough on my boundaries with her moving forward, as she has asked me to make lunch plans and to take a trip with her this year. So my question for you both is, how do I break up with my mom? I'm stepping into a marriage with the best and only man who has ever made me feel safe. I want to protect this relationship. I need to protect my mental health and future self from her continued disruptive and destructive behavior so I can be present in both my personal and professional worlds. Any sisterly advice would be helpful. Thank you so much. P.S. Here's a photo of my fiance and I.
Oh, yes. Love a photo. Oh my gosh, so beautiful.
First of all, you're stunning.
Beautiful couple.
You're stunning. Your kids will be gorgeous.
Yeah.
So thank you for sharing a photo. Taryne and I we just love photos. We love adding like a face.
Yeah.
It changes everything. This is wild.
This is
sticky.
Yeah. Family stuff is so hard.
Mm-hmm.
I have like two things. Two things is like family stuff. I feel like in a lot of ways, there are situations we can overlook stuff that we wouldn't usually in real life. Meaning if I have, like a crazy uncle who like always says stuff that hurts my feelings, because any other man that would just say stuff, I would easily be like, okay, bye. No, bye, But
when they're blood.
But if it's in my family, a certain part of me and most people will just be like, ugh, it's my crazy uncle. And when he says stuff, I personally just form a wall to where I don't let it penetrate, right? I still get annoyed. I still like complain about him, but I'm like, whatever.
Everyone has a crazy uncle, crazy aunt.
So I think that there are certain things that we put up with that we shouldn't have to. But I also think there are lines that when they are crossed, it does come to a point to where she's at, where she's like, for me to continue to grow and to be healthy, I can't have you in my life. But the hard part about family is like she always is going to be your mom. So like, where do you find...
I was going to say, that's what's different is it's not a crazy uncle that you don't necessarily live with or who isn't involved in your immediate life.
Yeah.
It's your parent.
Fully.
And your parent has a different position in your life.
My first question, and I don't know if I just like missed this part, like have they had a conversation where she's communicated like, hey, I need space?
I think she's... Again, with the hinting thing, I think she's hinted. I don't think she's set from what she's written us, which is all we know. Again, she hasn't. I don't think she's had a full on like let's DTR what this looks like and draw some boundaries together. I don't think that's happened.
Yeah.
Which I will say, I know someone who's very close with me who was in a very similar situation. Dad wasn't around, and his mom got remarried 7 times.
Oof.
7.
Yeah.
And it wrecked him. And he was the firstborn. So like he was there for every new dad, in quotes. And none of the guys were good. Like all honestly trash. And it affected him deeply to the point where he had to step away from his mom and not talk to her for the longest time to take care of himself.
Yeah.
Like that's already going to affect you. To continue to watch this toxic, repetitive behavior is slowly going to chip away at you.
Well, she let an abuser into her life.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, all of this is like one topic, but not only did the person who's supposed to protect you bring someone into your life. And yeah, I know sometimes like there are master manipulators out there that like people are not aware of stuff.
Fool me once.
And who knows how she dealt with it. Like if she was like, the second she found out it happened, it was done.
Yeah.
But still, some sense of you, I'm sure, holds your mom accountable to that. So now you have trauma tied to it. You have probably PTSD in there that like when stuff gets triggered, it's hard not to connect that to your mom and like how the role she played or didn't play like by protecting you.
Yeah.
So like this is so much deeper than just like family drama. And that was kind of the point I was trying to make before. But I think like, and it's hard because I don't know so much. Like, there's so many things I want to know. But I think that you can't expect your mom to, like, stop asking you to, like, go places and things if she's not aware that, like, you're needing and requiring and seeking space. So I think, like, you have to have that conversation. But how you have it depends on what your mom's, like, emotional capability is. Like, if she is a person who you can have good conversations with, then I would just go to her and be like, hey, I'm processing through a lot and I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I have a lot of anger towards you from stuff in my life. And in order to enter this chapter in my life, like, I need some space. And then you guys got to like work through what that looks like after. If she's like an overly dramatic, doesn't take those conversations well, then maybe I would just like lead off with a different like approach to it. But it all depends on like, we talk about all the time when you have a conversation with someone, sometimes coming at them in a different way to have a productive conversation is okay.
Yeah.
Versus like you wanting to just spill like the way you normally would. You know?
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and just take a guess that your mom isn't the healthiest.
Yeah.
And probably needs a little bit of help. And I think you have every right to step away and focus on yourself.
I do too.
I think giving her a heads up and just kind of letting her know a little bit about your decision is admirable of you. And I think it is the perfect way to like maybe take that lunch with her, just the two of you, and be like, hey, like, I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't agree with how you've been living your life. I don't agree with the affair. I don't agree with you, running off with another guy because this is number 4. And,
and tell her how it's affected you.
Yeah. And I need you to stop for a second and see how your toxic behavior has affected your daughter now. And then just let her know, like, I'm entering into a marriage. I actually found a man who is like amazing and sweet and safe, and I am protecting this relationship with him at all costs. And I'm going to be very honest with you. You're very detrimental to this new relationship that I'm about to enter into.
Yeah.
I don't want you coming near it. And it's not that I don't love you. I love you. You're my mom. I'm here for you always, but I need space. And I don't think that is wrong.
No.
I think that's actually very, I think letting her know how serious this is in that respectful manner is the best thing you can do. And then I would just separate for a bit. Give yourself space.
And the thing is, she's always your mom. So like maybe in a couple years you can revisit and see like what a relationship looks like.
And then maybe even tell her like if she can get in a better place, a healthier place, you'd love to maybe go to some therapy sessions with her and like really dig in. But like right now you need to focus on you and your future husband and your future life together.
No, I totally agree.
Oof. Fuck.
Yeah, at certain times, there's times you sacrifice for other people. There's times you step up and you're the one who demands the sacrifice for other people. So I think you've really got to like talk to people. Again, it's like, I feel like stupid because I always end with that, like talk to people in your life.
Yeah.
But it's so important for people who know you and love you and personally can see and know the different dynamics in your life for them to comment on what they see and what they think. But either way, I think a conversation needs to be had. So that way, like, you say what you have to say. And if she doesn't respect your boundary, then that's when you can enter into,
then you can
like,
walk away freely and know that
I'm ignoring your calls and whatever. But I feel like in order for that to get to that place where you have to be extreme, you have to at least communicate, like, hey, I need space.
100%. The message to be taken away from these stories today is it's okay to talk bluntly and be very upfront and honest about your feelings, because I think it's going to save you a lot of drama in the long run. Again, people like me, when it's serious, sometimes it's way more important to just come straight out and say it and stop hinting.
Yeah.
So especially with this mom situation, she's had time and time again to handle the situation and she hasn't been able to. So let's not.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Anonymous, thank you so much for writing in. I'm so happy for you and your fiance and that you found
you guys are so cute.
A safe person who can help take care of you. And I'm so excited for your relationship together. I'm stoked on you drawing boundaries with your mom. I think you're about to step into a very healthy future.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're taking care of yourself, and I'm just so proud of you.
Yes.
So thanks for writing in.
Well, everybody, since we're wrapping up, I'm going to do a dad joke. What do you know?
We always do.
As we proceed. Okay, ready?
Yes.
A man tried to sell me a coffin today. I told him, that's the last thing I need. Get it?
No.
You don't get it?
No, of course I get it. Jeez. Guys, if you made it to the dad joke, you already know we love you the mostest. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast and for keeping us alive. Again, friendly reminder, share this podcast with your friends and let's get
us famous.
Let's get us famous. And then maybe we'll have a second podcast if we get famous enough.
You can't throw that in my head and expect me not to marinate.
It's on them.
Oh, okay.
They got it. Oh, no work for us? Cool. Yeah. All right, guys. We love you so much, and we will talk to you in the next episode.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. Today's episode is sponsored by Theragun. Don't let the stress of daily life weigh on your body, whether you are an elite athlete or someone like me just trying to make it through the day tension-free. Theragun is here to help. Theragun is the handheld percussive therapy device that releases your deepest muscle tension using scientifically calibrated combo of depth, speed, and power, and it's just as quiet as an electric toothbrush. The Gen 4 Theragun doesn't just feel good, it gets to the source of the pain by releasing tension using Theragun's signature percussive therapy, which goes 60% deeper than vibration alone. I personally am obsessed with my Theragun. I, as you guys know, work out constantly, and that leaves my body in constant tension. So whether it's my legs, my shoulders, my arms, I am just a little stress ball, and I am constantly using my Theragun. It has really become a part of my nighttime routine, and I could not recommend it more. So guys, try Theragun for 30 days, starting at $199. Go to therabody.com/advice right now and get your Gen 4 Theragun today. That's therabody.com/advice, ADVICE, therabody.com/advice.